My name is Thor. I'm the after-sales support manager for Astera, and I'm basically looking after the global support for all of our distributors, all of the online support, taking care of everything that's going on there, and also I'm lucky enough to get to work very closely with Simon, our R&D director, on the new product developments. I'm based out of Munich in our main office there. So, and then obviously travel all around the world to most of the shows and everything as well.
How long has Astera been around as a company, and how long have you been with it?
I believe Astera started around 2002, 2003. Don't arrest me on that, but I think that was around where it was. Came from the event world, and then 2016, 2017, it started going into film world, where the gaffers, the DP, started picking up the pixel tube, and feedback from them then led to the development of the Titan tube, which obviously the Titan LED engine, and this is where we're really taking the world with Storm with our new products.
Walk me through what you've got.
All right, so you're right. We are going into more of the hard light sources here now. So it's two new Fresnels that are coming out. Everything that you know and love about Astera already is already there. They're IP rated. You got the Titan full spectrum LED engine. It's wireless control. You have the app. You have CRMX. You have wired control.
Battery,
not least, absolutely we do. This one here, you have 3 hours runtime at max brightness. For the big brother, you have 2 hours runtime at max brightness. And if you want to compare to something that you already know, this one here at 3200 Kelvin is equivalent to a 300 tungsten Fresnel. This one is equivalent to a 1K tungsten Fresnel. Now, this isn't just numbers on paper, because we've all been there before and been disappointed. So we actually went and bought an ARRI 1K and an ARRI 300, shot them out against each other, took a light meter to it, checked all the different beam angles, everything, matching that. It's a match. So this is real life values.
And that same Fresnel feel?
Yes, very much so. It absolutely is. I'd say it's a little bit more even than an old school tungsten Fresnel, because just the nature of LEDs and optics development and so on.
So the beauty of this kind of Fresnel is that it's not only a Fresnel.
No, it's not. So we've not gone down the route of a sort of like front-mounted COB open face like a lot of manufacturers do. We're using a mixing rod. So we positioned the LED chip itself much further into the unit. We have a highly polished mixing rod sitting in front of that. So at the point you actually have output from that, you have a completely mixed output. You're not going to have any sort of color fringing, no matter what color temperature, no matter what color you choose, you're not going to have any sort of fringing on it. It's going to be one uniform mixed output. And then we have the Fresnel lens mounted in front of that. And because we're doing this, we can actually keep the size down as well. So you don't have to go for a relatively small compact unit with a big Fresnel lens. You can go for a normal sized Fresnel lens on it.
But you don't have spot focus, or do you?
We do. So this one here has 15 to 60 degree zooms on them, on both of them.
Okay, so it's got all the features of a Fresnel.
Obviously you can take just a Fresnel lens out, use it as an open face. You want to do some shadow play, get really hard on the shadows, you can easily do that. But also, I mean, everyone wants projectors. Everyone wants projectors. So if you come with me over here, sorry guys, all right. No, feel free. We don't want to go down the LECO route of just having fixed beam angle projectors on it. So we developed 16 to 36 degree zoom projectors. It's not just sort of your two elements, one zoom, one focus element. If you look at this one here, it's got 15 gloss elements in there. So it's done properly to minimize chromatic aberration, making it sharp as possible, at the same time as also optimizing the transmission to make it as bright as possible. Standard gobo sizes, this one here for the small one uses an E-size gobo. For the big one, as you can see over there, that uses a B-size gobo. So that's all standard gobo sizes that you can get all from your normal suppliers. Obviously, you've got framing shutters, you got everything there. You can also rotate the barrel on it so that you're not stuck with anything lying there. We try to pay attention to what's important. This is very early prototype, but just to show you a little bit about what we have going on here. So you can easily see it's got a nice 16 to 36 degree beam angle on it. So it covers your standard sort of 19, 26, 36 degrees that you always use. And then you can go a little bit narrower if you want to as well. So it just makes it nice and easy. There's no iris on it, so it's basically, because of the constrictions, to be able to get it close, in focus, and work with the shutter blades and everything. There's just not physically room in there to put a real iris in, but if you do need that, you can of course use just beam reducer gobos. That will work in the same way, and then still allow you to keep it sharp if you need to go with shutter blades in addition to irising down as well.
And so that's a gobo, obviously.
Yes.
And it's colored.
That is a full color glass gobo. You can also use, as you see over there, we also have in the Leo, that's a glass grayscale gobo. You can use steel gobos, glass grayscale, glass full color, whatever you want. Any type of standard gobo. Like I said, E size on this one, B size on the big one. So it's readily available from all the gobo manufacturers out there.
And then, I'm sorry, could you rotate it again?
Just rotate it. Like that?
Yeah.
Just seeing what we can do? Of course we can. Nice and easy.
Could you tell us, is this one different from the other one, or does it do the same things?
It basically does exactly the same thing. Everything's optimized in the same way. It's the same style LED engine, so colors match perfectly between them. It has the same zoom range, 15 to 60 degrees. It has the same kind of attachments or modifiers. Obviously, the projector lens on this one is going to be much bigger. This one is a one-of-a-kind handmade prototype. That still needs some refining. We want to keep them uniform because it just means they're different sizes. It's like different brightness basically, and everything else we try to keep exactly the same. One difference is with this one here is this one comes with a rabbit rounder adapter for DOP choice. So any of the rabbit rounder system from DOP choice, the octoboxes, the snapbacks, the domes, they can just go straight on. You don't need to go and buy any custom modifiers or anything like that. Your existing inventory works, and the adapter is included as standard.
That's fantastic.
As you can see here, and this is the same thing for the small one as well. We got airline tracks around on all four sides, so it's easy to add different mounting accessories and everything on it. Like you say, this is very robust. It's we call this a yoke base. It's basically what we can do with this. We can move this around here. So as you see with this one here, we got the projector lens on the front here. So it's got quite front heavy because there's a lot of glass in there. We move this further front, and it's easy to balance the entire light out. If we don't use that, we would then move these further back, and then so we can always optimize the balance point on it. Instead of sort of like struggling to hold on to it, it's just nice and easy. You just trick it and focus it in exactly where you want it.
Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Very simple and easy. So what we've done here, we have a quick release on this here as well. So you undo the tilt lock. That acts as a safety mechanism for the quick release.
Wow.
So now I can actually release it here. If I were a little bit taller, I'm quite short, and this one is quite high up. But basically, push this one in here, same on the other side, and you can then now just lift it straight out of the yoke.
Gotcha.
And then you can easily adjust them to the position you need them to, and just pop it straight back in again.
That's to take it out, and then how do you slide it? Is that this mechanism?
So you just loosen this up here. Then you can slide it around, position it wherever you want, take it out if you have to, move it in there, move it in there, and then you just tighten it back up again, and it locks in place. And then you're just ready to just pop the yoke back in.
The idea is to take it out of its yoke and then move it.
Yes.
That totally makes sense. Yeah.
You could of course do it while it's mounted. I wouldn't, because it's just like it's not safe. You got to do it properly. So taking it out, adjusting these, and then you just pop it straight back in. That's the way to do it.
Is this the zoom here?
This is the zoom, yeah. So nice and easy, like I said here, just 15 to 60 degree zoom range on it. And that's the same across for both size fixtures, so you have the same beam angle on them, everything's exactly the same. I want to show you one thing as well. I'm just going to grab over here. So this is the lens. It's a special made lens designed specifically for these lights. It's a polymer. It's not going to shatter easily or anything like that. We try to think of everything when we do design lights, and we know the pitfalls and the problems that can occur and try to find solutions for it.
Now, obviously, you've taken that Titan engine,
yes,
and you've just scaled it in terms of wattage.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what we've done. And that's kind of what's taken so long to get these out here as well. They've been in development a long time, but a lot of that was actually developing the LED engine to be able to get it to a power level that it made sense to actually build these Fresnels. And we want to ensure that sort of like you get an Astera product, you know what's coming out. If you got Titan tubes, you got Helios, you have pixel bricks, Hydra panels, Leo Fresnels, Pluto Fresnels. You got all of those. You put the same value in them, you get the same color coming out of them. And that's important. I mean, we've all been on shoots where we have different products from different manufacturers or even same manufacturer, and you put the same value in and it looks completely different. Nobody wants that. So that's why we're sticking to a well-proven Titan engine that people love, and just make sure that we stay to that standard.
Often there's the issue of showing something and then not having it available. What's your timeline for having these available?
A few weeks. We're building now. We are already shipped to the demo units, to the distributors all around the world, and we are now building the first production batch. So mid to end of June, so 3 weeks, then we'll be shipping in quantities all over the world.
And lastly, what's this sled you've got it on?
This is a prototype, this is a new accessory. Basically trying to make it a little bit easier for like your gaffers that have your shelf stacked in the truck. You want to be able to just put it straight in, simple in. So put it down, then you can just slide it in on the shelf, nice and easy like that. But also, what you can do, you can use it as a floor stand. So, and angle it like that.
Which is also good for events.
It is, absolutely.
Thanks so much for taking the time. These are going to be fun.
Yeah, no, you know what, we've been showing them in sort of hidden rooms now for the last 6-7 months, and the feedback's been amazing. We've showed them to so many good people. We've taken on board what they're saying, what they've suggested, tried to incorporate everything that we can there, and come out with a product now that I think really hits the market.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thor.
All right.
Astera products have always been very reliable with excellent battery management systems, and I especially appreciate their longevity.